Start with an opening statement from Coach, and then we'll go to questions.
First of all, I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for the blessing I have of living life with these guys. And, I say that every time, and it is not said flippantly. I just love those dudes, right? They are hurt in the locker room right now, and you just love when guys care so much. We have been through a lot, but we've turned a corner, and we're close. We're close to being like really, really good. And this road trip was great for us because we learned some things, and now we get to go back and work on it. And so give all the credit to Coach Smith and his team. Man, they pounded us on the glass, right? Like pounded us. So 21-6 offensive rebounds, and that allowed them to get the ball in the paint, which caused us to have to foul. And then they stepped to the line and made free throws, right? Asaro was shooting 50% last 5 games. He'd go 7 for 7. Lovren, was 20%. And he goes 7 for 12. And you got to give those guys the credit, right? 38 and 18 between the two bigs. And so great game plan by Coach and great job by the team. And yet at the end we had an opportunity, right? And we missed it. But I was proud of our execution at the end to give us that opportunity. So.
Yeah, Coach, was it simply their size that give you problems on the glass?
Yeah, I have to go watch the film. They are big, though, like big at every position. I'm going to have to go watch the film. I asked a few times, was our guys not jumping? And I was told that, yeah, we're blocking out, but we're not jumping. So, but I'll go watch the film and figure it out.
Do you think you have an energy and legs thing to kind of get caught up on in the next 6 days?
Yeah. We get a couple, guys going to get a couple days off, but, it'll be off their legs, but we got some mental work that we have to do, and as a staff, we have to look at and try and figure out some things. But nothing big, right? We just got to tweak a few things, and then, we get to play at the house, and it's different. Like when it's hard to win on the road. Now we've shown we can, and I believe that we can get to the point where we do win consistently on the road, but I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else than these guys.
Coleman and Brendan both, I guess, dealt with minor injuries, cramps or whatever today. How much did that kind of hamper what they were able to do?
Yeah, I don't know if it was cramps. I think, might have got kneed a little bit, and then on one of those screens, he was trying to go over the top and got kneed. But everybody's banged up right now. So those dudes were warriors. They went back in there and got it. What hurt Coleman more than the cramps was the fouls, right? And so because we need him on the floor.
I was going to ask that next. The first half was just a revolving door of fouls on your front court. How did you go about handling that?
Well, I was very proud of how Moby and Ugo responded in those times. I thought Ugo did a really good job for us. Our defense was really good when Ugo was in. He got caught on a couple ball screens where he was too high, but for the most part, the time on the floor that he gave us was very, very valuable. And so you just have to, manage it. I hate fouling guys out in the first half. They get 2 fouls and you sit them. And I believe that Coleman and Dave are mature enough to be able to handle that. And but I was proud of the guys who played.
What were the main challenges of this quick turnaround on this trip?
But, it's always, are you going to have legs, right? Because they don't know us, right? And they don't have time. I'm sure they spent all their time preparing for their first game, kind of like we did. And we thought about, well, hey, can we combine both scouts? And we're like, we hadn't done that all year long. Let's not screw up what's going on. So we just tried to learn them in one day. And I thought our guys did a really good job of that, And Matson's one heck of a player. And I thought we did a great job. But, at the end of the game, what players do? Players make plays. And that's what that young fella did.
You talked about how much better your team is right now, and you're even close to turning another corner. Where have you improved the most, do you think?
Well, I think we understand who we are and what value we bring to the team, each guy. And there's a connectiveness and a togetherness, right, that even when we were down or runs were taking place or as we prepare how we conduct ourselves on a daily basis, that, I got 3 non-negotiables, right? You're going to be on time, you're going to have a high level of communication, and you're going to be thankful. And I've seen that in these guys on a daily basis in everything that we do. And so, these dudes are K-Staters, right? And that's That's what we are playing for K-State right now.
Coach, this was one of your guys' first times here at the Huntsman Center. I just want your thoughts on what the environment was like for you guys.
Yeah, well, so I told the guys in was it shoot around or maybe last night when we were shooting, like this used to be called the Special Event Center. Am I correct about that? And the 1979 National Championship game was played here. And that's really special to me because it was the first college basketball game I ever watched. And it was Larry Bird and Magic Johnson.
Michigan State alum, so I'm just like,
Yeah, you know?
I work in Salt Lake, so I just love that.
And I fell in love with college basketball. I didn't know anything about, but I fell in love with college basketball. And that's why I'm a college coach now, because I saw that game in 1979. And when I said the 79, you should have seen my guy's face. They're like, oh, Coach, I wasn't even a twinkle in my parents' eyes at the kind of thing. But no, there's so much history. And then there's a plaque out there for Jack Gardner, who had 2 stints at Kansas State. He's a legend, and so, man, just a wonderful place. And we've been to Salt Lake. As a coach, I've been to Salt Lake before. We played in the NCAA tournament, and we scrimmaged one time with Gonzaga here, and so we've been here before. And I brought my family here on vacation. We flew in here and went up to Jackson Hole. So, man, just a beautiful city, beautiful arena, great place, and was honored to be able to be on a court that has Jack Gardner's name and that Magic and Larry played on, and so.
That last 3 attempt by Brandon, was that what was drawn up? Obviously, he'd hit some deep threes, but was that kind of major?
Yeah. Well, we knew that you get in closer, then you got the length, and so we went high ball screen, flip back, and just wanted him. I know if he gets his legs under him, he's got a chance to make it. And I thought it was a really good look, and it was just a little short, and so we'll take it any day.
Utah only made 3 3-pointers. Was the emphasis for you guys really to kind of hone in on that and that defensive presence, or just kind of their balls didn't fall down and that kind of how it worked?
Yeah, no, their shots just didn't fall. I thought we did a good job of locking in on Matson and making it hard for him to get shots, but he makes tough shots. That's what he does. And our point of emphasis was rebounding and keeping them out the paint. That was our point of emphasis, and we obviously did not take care of that.
Given the recent struggles in the free throw line, were you okay with some fouls or more than usual in this game?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, that was the game plan. Like, if them jokers get the ball in the lane, we were going to foul them. And if they got to the bonus, we was going to foul them. And that's what's so impressive about Lawson stepping up there and making those free throws, right? And so hats off to them.
And just how frustrating was it to see in the second half a lot of loose balls, hustle plays ended up going their way instead of yours?
Yeah, when we go after the ball with one hand, man, it's just tough people, like, 2-hand rebounds, and they go stick their nose in and for the ball. And so I think I will go back and look at the film, and that's something that we got to learn and grow from. And especially when you're in a tough environment or you're on the road, right? Like, the fans aren't giving you energy. You got to bring your own energy, and you have to make those plays happen. And we didn't, and they did.
Coach, you've experienced streaks, both losing and winning, and you've had a lot of success in this league. What sort of mindset and mentality do you have to find and sustain success in the Big 12 Conference?
Well, first of all, you've got to have players with high character because when you're going through tough things, you need to have guys who are going to keep both hands on the rope for you. And the second thing is you can't let one loss lead to 2, meaning you can't let a team beat you twice. And sometimes you win a game and you let that win beat you the next game. And so we just try to want to know whatever the game was. So like in that locker room, it was, fellas, had we won, we'd be dapping each other up and excited and stuff, but we would still have to improve. And so when we lose, it's the same thing. We're going to keep improving because it does them no good, and it does me no good to go in there and yell and scream and holler and that kind of stuff. I got guys who care, and when I show them on film how we can get better, they try. And so you just have to have a want-to-know mentality in everything you do.
Coach, you touched on the rebounding. Want to hear your thoughts on your defense tonight, especially on Gabe Matson. You mentioned him, did a good job on him, but overall, what do you think of your team's defensive effort?
Well, our first shot defense was really good, but second shots always go in. That's one of our things, second shots. And so, you know, although we guarded the first shot well, they did a really good job of going and getting it again, which allowed them to beat us 14-7 on second chance points, and that's ultimately the difference in the game.
Anything else? Okay, thank you.
Hey, thanks a lot. God bless. Go Cats.